NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. It's second-round coverage of the Arizona Summer Classic. Here at the TPC Scottsdale in Arizona, and Frank, when so many people tune in to watch this great event, they think immediately of the 16th hole, with all of those fans jammed in. It's like Fenway Park inside the desert there. But it's much more than that little par 3, isn't it?
It certainly is more than that, Rich. The TPC Scottsdale is a great venue for a PGA Tour event. It's a blend of everything. Birdie opportunities, holes that are fought by water, bunkering that's been changed. All in all, it's a great atmosphere with nearly 500,000 people that visit this during the tournament week.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball, and this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Good-looking shot right here. On the green, and a chance for birdie here on the first hole. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Frank, that's what you want to do. Good lag putt.
Yeah, they can't all go in.
8-foot putt here. Frank, a par here, that's just fine. Now to the second hole, and Frank, what can you tell us about this par 4?
A new tee has been added, lengthening this hole 30-plus yards. Plus, what used to be just one bunker on the right side of the screen has changed to a little pot bunker, and the addition of 2 bunkers on the left side. Still a semi-blind tee shot, and the hole just bends softly to the left. Another very good par 4 here at TPC Scottsdale.
Interesting, with the almost space-age advancements in golf equipment, what with new, lighter materials, and with the increased focus on fitness and strength, players are hitting the ball longer than ever. That has forced architects to lengthen the golf courses without sacrificing the integrity or the shot value of the original design. Superb shot.
Well, it's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
Mark a birdie on the card. Now the third hole, it's a par 5, and how does this one set up, Frank?
It's a nice yardage, around that 550, 560 yards. It's going for a little extra.
Are you kidding me? Come on, you can't hit a ball that hard.
That is crushing it beyond all crushing.
Frank, in the end, it is a game of precision. We know that.
No,
but
it's not, Rich.
It's not.
You tell me, after a shot like that, he's not pumping his chest out. That's what people want to do. They want to hit it like that.
Precision. I love to see guys just bomb it.
Come on, everybody wants to hit it that far.
Frank, it hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
You wonder what he's thinking on that.
So this is the third shot to the par 5. That's how the best in the world play it, Frank.
Well, I feel a little lucky that it went in, but it was always going to be close.
Here now at the par 3 fourth. Frank, what's the setup here?
Plays a little downhill, so it won't play its full 180 yards. You can perhaps take one club off the decision off the tee. The green, as you can see now, is a little wider than what it was deep. The bunkering, though, is certainly excellent. A little pot bunker on the right side, one there if you come up a little short, and there's another one on the left side should you pull your tee shot.
He has this for birdie. No problems early. Looks good.
It does look good. This bodes well. We might be in for a very, very low round today.
Now to the 5th hole and a challenging par 4.
Slightly longer this year. Played off a new tee at the back, and there used to be 2 bunkers down the right side. They've now been put together to form one, and in the perfect position that really make you think about your tee shot. takes a very big drive to try and carry that bunker on the right. It's going to be at least 315 plus yards to get past that. Green itself still tilts a little left to right and back towards the player. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. Now this for birdie. Came away with a bogey on the previous round. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Ready to tee off now at the 6th. This is a dogleg left.
And another hole that's been stiffened by bunkers on both the left and the right side, really giving you the decision on what club to hit. Should you be bold or should you be smart?
That's an absolute tracer right there. In the fairway and well over 320 yards. Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie. Didn't fare too well on this hole yesterday. Made a bogey. You get the sense now with that birdie that our young star, so explosive, is setting himself up for a big weekend run. Frank, where's the difficulty here on the 7th hole, the par 3 of more than 200 yards?
Well, Rich, front hole locations are always probably the toughest here because that's the narrowest part of the green. Bunkering really hasn't changed, and the green still does widen up, but the hole tends to play slightly uphill.
This hole really sets up well for the player. Birdie yesterday, and a chance for another one today. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Now here at the par 4 8th, slight dogleg to the left, Frank.
And this dogleg's made more severe now by the addition of 2 bunkers. This was a bunkerless hole off the tee in years gone by, but those 2 bunkers certainly make this a sharper dogleg. And because it forces the player to go down the right side, adds length to the already long 475 yards.
Well, that's the way you draw it up here at the 8th. You want to get it out there. He's done that, and he's kept it in the fairway. That is impressive. Hit every single green in regulation today. Well done. This hole's been good to him. Birdie yesterday and trying for another one today. Down it. That's a birdie. Rounding out the front 9 with a par 4 of 453 yards from the back tee. Looks to be straight away here, Frank. Anything to be cautious about on this tee shot?
Well, that bunker, used to be 2 bunkers down the right side. There is now 1, and it also pinches into the fairway, which almost makes this hole look like a faint dogleg right. But really, the best line is still down the left side, so it still actually suits a draw off the tee. Green is slightly elevated and not very deep too, so judging that second shot, getting the right club is essential here at 9.
That would be a great look at birdie. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Just singes the edge, Frank.
Yeah, but at least he's burning the edges. You know you're hitting good parts.
Just a little tap in here. Did the job right there. Just a superb performance on the front side. He's hoping to keep it going here on the back 9, Frank.
The game is so much easier when you're swinging well, putts are going in. Really, you've just got to keep out of your own way.
Those are good numbers right there. 320, 320 yards. Just crushed it in the fairway. Second shot, good look at the green.
There's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Really in control of this hole. Birdie yesterday and another opportunity on the way. This is a 9-footer. So the dominant performance continues.
Yeah, we're watching two tournaments right now, the one at the top and the rest.
On to the par 4 11th hole. Frank, what's the best play here?
No bunkers really here to worry about, Rich, so you have to pick something in the distance as a good line. Something a little bit away from the water that protects the left side of this fairway. And it's adjacent to the 15th hole, the other par 5 coming home. So a good drive, perhaps with a little bit of cut off the tee. And that should shape up nicely for this long par 4.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Oh, can't hide the flag stick from that man. Birdie putt coming up. The par on this hole yesterday. Count that. That's a birdie. Par 3 12th may not be as famous as the par 3 16th, but Frank, you think this may be a tougher and even better hole?
We see more bogeys and double bogeys here on 12 than 16 will ever see, and courtesy of the water behind and to the right of this green. If you're going to bail out, find one of those bunkers. A good bunker player obviously can get it up and down, but it's still no snack trying to record your par 3 at 12.
Birdie here yesterday, trying to do it again today. Good putt. To the par 5 13th here at TPC Scottsdale. Lots of danger left and right of this tight fairway, Frank.
This hole has really changed over the years. It used to be a split fairway. That no longer exists. That bunker you can see down the left side, which you can't carry, really defines the left side of this hole. Water still in play down the right, and big change here is the bunkering along the left, front, and left side of this green. So you can't just blaze away and comfortably expect to hit 13 and 2 anymore.
That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. Settles in over the putt. How does that not go in?
Amazing. Stroke looked good. Line looked good. Just did not take that final break.
He has this for a birdie. He takes care of business there.
Solid stroke.
Par 4 14th, Frank, it seems as though you'd be pretty happy with a par here.
You would, even though the putting surfaces here at TPC Scottsdale are excellent. It's going to take two good shots to reach this 14th hole. You can get in a little bit of trouble off the tee. That bunker on the left very much in play. The rough on the right side is no snack either, because the ball, more often than not, will finish well above the player's feet. And of course that green is very, very narrow, well protected by bunkers on the left. Should be safely on deck.
You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
Shouldn't be a problem here. Oh yeah, he's made it for a birdie. Great scoring opportunity here at the par 5 15th, but Frank, I'm wondering, as a player, is your mind beginning to think about what's ahead at that par 3 16th hole?
Oh, they are. This is really the finishing stretch at TPC Scottsdale, where you get all these swing holes. 15 is a swing hole. 16, 17, and 18, where so many changes in the score can actually happen. But this one here is all about finding the fairway. A good drive down here will be well rewarded, because you'll have a chance to reach this par 5 and 2.
Couldn't have done much better than that. An eagle is very possible.
Some tester from 4 feet.
That's how you keep a round going, making from that distance. Well, here we are at the 16th hole, looking at just over 160 yards. Doesn't seem all that daunting, Frank. But 160 yards with 20,000 people, horned into a little stadium in the desert, that makes it a different story.
It certainly is. This was one hole, too, where Tom Watson would send his caddy forward. He would stay back by 15. His caddy would get his yardage. Watson would simply walk on the tee. His caddy would give him the club. He would not go through his normal routine. He would simply just head away. It was one hole that he never wanted to think about. It might look simple, but it's what the player feels.
Just drip that in.
Well, it's 4 1/4 inches. Use it all.
Frank, 16 was fun. 17 is always exciting here at TPC Scottsdale.
You've got to be careful because that water that sort of goes around the left side of the green, if that ball's coming in with a little bit of hook, it's just going to keep going left. There's the one bunker you really have to focus on. That's the one in the middle of the fairway. 280 will carry that. Chances are the ball can run onto the green. It takes a brave man really to try and fly this ball all the way there. It's not really needed because there's always another 10 or 15 yards of run. Factor that in.
That was not a very good read right there. Trying to make yet another birdie. Continues to amaze, yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Well, again, the fairways are lined with those huge galleries coming off 16 and 17. Now the finishing hole here at TPC Scottsdale. And Frank, what can we expect?
Well, this is a goodie. It'll play slightly as a dogleg left. Now, many a year, a player would try and carry the ball all the way over that water down the left side, but those new bunkers down there, it stopped the J.B. Holmes attack on this par 4. You're really going to have to play a little right of those now, and there's a couple of bunkers up on the hill to stop you doing that. So this is really a much tougher tee shot. 440 yards of par 4 just got a little bit more difficult.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Put a birdie on the card here yesterday, don't forget. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Everybody loves him. Birdie on the card.
Well, Rich, 2 rounds in the books, and it's easy to see why the leaders are on top of that leaderboard.
Excellent performance, but still a long ways to go in this tournament. NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the Arizona Summer Classic. Set in the Sonoran Desert and surrounded by the majestic McDowell Mountains, we're at the stadium course at TPC Scottsdale in Arizona. Hello again and welcome. Rich Schroeder alongside Frank Nobilo, set to bring you all the action for today's event. Frank, when you think about the TPC Scottsdale, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
The golf course has been radically changed in 2014, but it still hasn't lost its luster. Really, it's just been updated like the game itself for these young, strong players of the modern era.
Good looking shot right here. That is a green in regulation as the approach shot hits the first green, but he is by no means in for par yet. A lengthy putt coming up. Always two components to the long lag putt, the speed, number one, and then the read. And missed out on that second part. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Par 4 second hole, a little bit longer than the first, this one at 442 yards.
Yeah, they've added a new tee, changed the bunkering down the right side. Still a semi-blind tee shot, a hole that bends softly to the left side. The bunkering around this green has changed. Still, it requires a very precise tee shot.
Frank, that's as good as I have seen all day long.
I think we've got to blame that on the weather. That weather, the wind had to help that ball give it another 20, 30 yards.
This just 80 yards away. Frank, one of the great moments in tournament history here in Scottsdale, you go back to 1996, the sudden death playoff between Phil Mickelson and Justin Leonard. Mickelson has always been the hero out here because he went to Arizona State.
Yeah, and it still runs through his veins, Rich. It was such an important win for him because to do it in front of people that he considered his home crowd was huge. And then also to do it in a playoff where, obviously it's win or lose. So for Mickelson, 1996 and TPC Scottsdale certainly ring home.
Hard putt, soft hands, beautiful putt. Now the third hole, it's a par 5, and how does this one set up, Frank?
It's a nice yardage around that 550, 560 yard mark. So a good drive, you can certainly reach the par 5 and 2. Got to flash it across a little bit of a desert there. This green has been completely changed in 2014, and the addition of one bunker to that right side. Used to be two.
Wow, that is a monster drive down there, about 315 yards.
Second shot. Well, this is straight at it.
That's a really good line. Just a case of a hole suiting the player's eye. Made the birdie yesterday, and he has a good chance to make another one today. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. What a tremendous display of golf this has been.
Certainly throwing an eagle against the field, too. We've seen it all. Birdies, eagles, just blitzing the field from start to finish.
Really nice mix of holes to start here at TPC Scottsdale. The 2 4s and then the par 5. Now our first par 3. Just a little over 180 yards, Frank.
Plays a little downhill, longer than what it once was. Green is radically different. Used to be deep, now it's wide. And the bunkering, of course, is visually totally different from what it used to be.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
And this will be a 5-foot putt here.
Great too.
Beautiful. Well, Frank, now at the 5th hole, the par 4, the challenge stiffens just a bit.
Yeah, the longest par. Well, when he goes after it like he is here. Just smokes it.
But this could be really good, Frank.
Oh, straight at it. Whoa, that is long.
Frank, in the end, it is a game of precision. We know that.
No,
but
it's not, Rich.
It's not.
You tell me, after a shot like that, he's not pumping his chest out. That's what people want to do. They want to hit it like that.
Precision. I love to see guys just bomb it.
Come on, everybody wants to hit it that far. This looks like it's going to find the target.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Ready to tee off now at the 6th. This is a dogleg left.
And another hole that's been stiffened by bunkers on both the left and the right side, really giving you the decision on what club to hit. Should you be bold or should you be smart?
I mean, he just blasted it down the fairway, well over 325 yards. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Really well done. Just inside of 5 feet there. He really likes this hole. Made birdie yesterday. Can he do it again today? He's made it. Now to the par 4 6th. Decision time, Frank. Driver, or do you go with 3-wood?
A lot of that's going to depend on if there's any breeze. If the breeze is at your back, you can drive it all the way down the right side and take those 2 bunkers down the right completely out of play. This hole's been stiffened up, though. The length hasn't increased, but that bunkering in that choke point. So, the strategy. Do you have the length to get past them? Or, if you have to lay up, it's going to leave a much longer second shot.
That's how you play the game. Right there. Stick it in close, and then knock in the birdie. This one just requires a little bit of focus. That was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Good par. This is a good hole, Frank, the par 4 8th.
Yet another dogleg left, Rich, on the front side. And it's a sharper dogleg now because they've put in 2 bunkers down the left side. It used to be a bailout area for the players in the past. You can't do that anymore. And I doubt anybody can fly it over that left one. It's nearly 330 yards to carry that in the air. Those 2 bunkers have forced the players to go out to the right, making that second shot a little bit longer now. Should be safely on deck. Rich, I thought he could get this close.
That just is amazing. Just a mind blower right there. Absolutely incredible. He made the shot. Rounding out the front 9 with a par 4 of 453 yards from the back tee. Looks to be straight away here, Frank. Anything to be cautious about on this tee shot?
Well, that bunker, there used to be 2 bunkers down the right side. There is now 1, and it also pinches into the fairway, which almost makes this hole look like a faint dogleg right. But really, the best line is still down the left side, so it still actually suits a draw off the tee. Green is slightly elevated and not very deep, too. So judging that second shot, getting the right club is essential here at 9.
Had a birdie here yesterday in their close. Great opportunity for another one. This hole's been good to him. Birdie yesterday, and trying for another one today. You have to make those from that distance. That hurts. So just a formality here.
Virtually no error in that putting stroke. Good putt.
Setting up to start the back nine here, and if it's anywhere near as good as the front nine, Frank Hill will be very happy with his score at the end of the day.
Yeah, the hardest thing right now is to just keep doing the same thing without focusing on the score.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
Well, it is nice to have that one in your bag, to be able to hit it that long.
Yeah, that has to be at least 315 yards.
Frank having to deal with the elements today.
Yeah, this is anything other than just playing on a calm day, so you've got to be so aware of the direction it's coming from. He's done a good job.
Can't hide the flagstick from that man. Another one inside of 5 feet. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. In for birdie. Now at the par 4 11th, Frank, I really like this hole.
Well, you might be the only one, Rich, because this is an absolute scorecard wrecker. Water all the way down the left side. There's two bunkers. Don't worry about that. They're not off the tee. They're around the green. They protect the left front and the back. If you think you can bail out down the right side, well, you could find cactus and all sorts of crazy things down the right. And believe me, go down there, more than anything, they'll wreck your scorecard as well.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Oh, just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
Trying to grind out a par here. Needs it.
No, really, Rich, right now it's just a case of running out of holes. Pars are fine.
Par 3 12 may not be as famous as the par 3 16th, but Frank, you think this may be a tougher and even better hole?
We see more bogeys and double bogeys here on 12 than 16 will ever see, and courtesy of the water behind and to the right of this green. If you're going to bail out, find one of those bunkers. A good bunker player obviously can get it up and down, but it's still no snack trying to record your par 3 at 12.
Frank had hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
You wonder what he's thinking on that.
Coming out of the rough and right up next to the hole. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read.
Really solid stroke.
Par 5 13th, chance for birdie or maybe even eagle if you're bold and brave enough, but also, Frank, chance for disaster here?
Well, there is. Water very much in play down the right side. There's a bunker down the left, too. If you finish up in that, there's no way you're going for this par 5 and 2. Then it becomes a little bit of a zigzag mission. The second shot either has to be hit down the right side, just skirting that bunker in the front, or it has to be all carry.
Frank, that swing looks lively and strong.
Oh, that had to fly 300. It's close to 310. This is not heading in the right direction.
Well, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Couldn't have done much better than that. An eagle is very possible. And he's third here at the par 5. Just dominated this hole, and it ends up with an eagle. Par 4 14th, and Frank, this hole packs a little punch, doesn't it?
Yeah, the addition of just a little bit more yardage, plus the bunker on the left has been pushed out into the fairway. It actually makes the hole play a little bit longer than its 490 yards. Second shot is a little bit uphill. No longer is there a bunker on the right side. That side of the green is actually open. You don't really want to be trying to miss that green on the right. Should you decide to go at the flag, you're going to have to carry that front bunker.
Probably going to have to hit one more club here, Frank. A little bit uphill. And this is looking really good. Midway through this back 9, could use this birdie here at the 14th. No problems there.
Yeah, keeps the round going, keeps the momentum on his side.
All right, Frank, now the fun begins. We are teed up at the par 5 15th hole. Plenty to talk about here.
Yeah, the fairway down the left side is anything other than straight. It's more like a shipwreck, the raggedness of it. And that water in play, well, if you do find one on the fairway, you can sort of always wave across to the people that are walking down the 11th hole. Find the fairway, you can reach this par 5 and 2. A little bit of an island-looking green there, bunker on the left, and also another bunker just short right. But a fairway missed here. Well, you can rack up 5, 6, 7. We've seen all sorts of scores here at 15.
See a little bit off balance on the tee, and that one is going to be in the rough. Frank, better than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that looked like it was headed for that quick stuff the whole way, but a little fortunate. And I guess you're allowed that in this game.
On the way.
No, Rich, that was a huge putt. You don't expect to make them from that distance.
Frank, the one moment that sort of made the 16th hole what it is today would have to be Tiger's ace in 1997 here at the TPC Scottsdale when it was raining plastic cups.
It was also his reaction, too, and that ushered in the Tiger Woods era that we became associated with, which is the fist-pumping, the rowdy spectators. I mean, he was one of the few players that bridged the gap between spectator and golf course. And it still goes on till today. And I think Rory McIlroy probably is the only other player that starts to broach that type of inside and outside atmosphere with golf.
Still to this day, it's the loudest single moment that I can ever remember hearing on a golf course. Frank, when you get to the 17th hole, we always recall maybe the single most bizarre shot in the history of golf.
Yeah, everybody talks about maybe a hole-in-one at 16, but really 17. And the player was Andrew McGee. It was a good tee shot, don't get me wrong. But Rich, it needed an assist.
Well, the assist came from Tom Byram, whose brother Kurt is a commentator for the Golf Channel. Tom Byram was just minding his own business, standing on the green, sort of leaning on his putter, and you know what happened.
Yeah, the ball hit Tom Byram's putter and then careened into the hole. So, 17. Made famous, a little bit of history with a couple of names to drag up from the past.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall.
Rich, 18 was always considered a long finishing hole.
Not for J.B. Holmes.
Yeah, the water was always in play. And then the day he took it over the left side and carried everything and went on to win, that completely changed the way this golf course played ever since that day.
And it resulted in some of the changes we're seeing now.
Yeah, evidence, the new bunkering down the left side. But it showed us all how much and how strong these guys are, how much they've improved over the years.
Great way to finish off the final approach shot with a birdie opportunity.
This is an awkward length.
That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
And getting ready for the putt. That's a nice confidence builder right there. You make those for par, and you keep things steady. Frank, in golf, there's nothing quite like the final round of a hotly contested championship, and this one could be a doozy.
And there's nothing quite like that leaderboard I'm looking at right now. We are going to have some amazing golf. This one is going to have to be won.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final round coverage of the Arizona Summer Classic. Good contact, good result. This has really been a challenge all day long with these winds coming from different directions, changing speeds. It's gone from 15 upwards to 25 miles per hour. Really a test for the players. This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Well, I'm reminded of what an old caddy used to say about the great Lanny Watkins when he was on fire. You can't hide the flagstick from that man. Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday.
Great start.
Teed up here at the par 4 second. Frank, what do players need to look out for off the tee?
This hole has been lengthened in 2014, some 30-plus yards. Bunkering down the right has also changed, making this drive a little bit more important now. You can't just blaze away over the hill. Green also changed with the addition of 2 bunkers on the left side.
That's an absolute tracer right there. In the fairway and well over 320 yards. Well, that is a ball striking clinic right there. Another dazzling approach shot. Pretty close. See if he can get something going here. 2 straight birdies. Frank, we have said it over and over. Another birdie. Now the third hole, it's a par 5, and how does this one set up, Frank?
It's a nice yardage around that 550, 560 yard mark. So a good drive. You can certainly reach the par 5 and 2. Got to flash it across a little bit of a desert there. This green has been completely changed in 2014. And the addition of 1 bunker to that right side. Used to be 2.
Okay, the second shot now at this par 5. And a chance for eagle after that perfectly played shot. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Frank, there's an old basketball announcer who used to say when a ball went in and out of the cylinder, just the way that one did,
he would say ringtail howitzer. And that one just didn't go in.
It is in the hole for a birdie. Here now at the par 3 fourth. Frank, what's the setup here?
Plays a little downhill, so it won't play its full 180 yards. You can perhaps take one club off the decision off the tee. The green, as you can see now, is a little wider than what it was deep. The bunkering, though, is certainly excellent there. A little pop bunker on the right side. One there if you come up a little short, and there's another one on the left side should you pull your tee shot.
Good putt. Now to the 5th hole and a challenging par 4.
Slightly longer this year. Played off a new tee. Gone for a little extra.
Gave that the full treatment. Get up. That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
And now it's right in his wheelhouse. Good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. With that ball sitting up, you can bring it in high, you can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Safely aboard. Birdie try again here today. Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good. So just a formality here. He's made it. Now to the par 4 6th. Decision time, Frank. Driver, where do you go with 3-wood?
A lot of that's going to depend on if there's any breeze. If the breeze is at your back, you can drive it.
Unfortunately, that ball is wet. So this will be the 3rd shot after taking the drop with the ball going in the water. Good swing, good shot yet again. Frank had hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
You wonder what he's thinking on that.
All right, Frank, just on the fringe, he might be thinking about making this.
He's a better chipper than you, Rich.
Either misjudged the win or simply just pulled the wrong club, Frank.
Going to take some skill now.
This requires a lot of speed through the ball. Bad news is, Frank, that's a bogey, but the good news still has the lead.
Can't afford another, though.
On to the par 3 7th, 215 yards from that back tee box, Frank.
This hole hasn't really changed. Still has that V-shaped green where it's very narrow in the front. A high-flying shot in here that carries that front edge, and you'll find the further and further you go back there, the more receptive, and that green starts to widen.
Just a case of a hole suiting the player's eye. Made the birdie yesterday, and he has a good chance to make another one today. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read.
Great, too.
Beautiful. Now here at the par 4 8, slight dogleg to the left, Frank.
And this dogleg's made more severe now by the addition of 2 bunkers. This was a bunkerless hole off the tee in years gone by, but those 2 bunkers certainly make this a sharper dogleg. And because it forces the player to go down the right side, adds length to the already long 475 yards.
Second shot, good look at the green. Good chance at one. What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
Oh, that incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie. And what a day it's been. Here at the par 4 9th hole, Frank, what's the strategy off the tee?
Well, there's one bunker down the right side that you have to be very wary of. 325 yards to carry that, so it's very much in play, and just over 290 to reach it. Ideally, you have to go left about that down the left side. But really, this is a second shot hole because this green is not very deep.
Well, he pays a price for that.
Yeah, when you don't see the top of the ball in the rough, you know it's not sitting pretty. You'll need a bit of force to extract one out of there.
So missed the fairway, and now he's back where he needs to be.
Yeah, minimize the problems.
And it is in.
Amazing. Amazing.
Excellent front side, trying to keep it going here on the second 9.
He's just playing beautifully, hitting so many good shots, giving himself so many opportunities. Can he keep it going?
Well, this looks good.
Certainly is.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. It is a windy day out here, Frank. My hat just blew off. This is going to affect the player's shots, that's for sure. That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Moving on to the 11th hole, Frank, water all along the left side, 472 yards. How do you handle this one?
Well, this one's weird because the tees are a little off-center. They start down the right side, which makes it into a dog. And you mentioned the water. It always comes into play. And there are 0 fairway bunkers. You don't need them here at 11 because really it's all about the tee shot. Find the fairway. Then even though it's a long par 4, you should be able to at least attack that green safely. Miss the fairway to the right, which is the bail outside, and your problems are just starting.
That will be a great look at birdie. He really likes this hole. Made birdie yesterday, and he'd do it again today. Well, that was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
So a tester from 4 feet.
Never a bad score on the card. That's par. 12th hole now, looking at 192 yards, par 3.
Won't quite play that distance because that tee shot is considerably downhill. But you really have to be cognizant of the wind if it's coming off the left because it easily brings that water into play down the right should that tee shot just start moving with the wind.
Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
To the par 5 13th here at TPC Scottsdale. Lots of danger left and right of this tight fairway, Frank.
This hole has really changed over the years. There used to be a split fairway. That no longer exists. That bunker you can see down the left side, which you can't carry, really defines the left side of this hole. Water still in play down the right, and big change here is the bunkering along the left, front, and left side of this green. So you can't just blaze away and comfortably expect to hit 13 and 2 anymore. This is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. In the thick stuff.
Thick? It's brutal out there.
Frank, here we go again. Another shot from the rough.
Yeah, let's see if he learned his lesson.
Not quite dialed in all the way on that shot, but still on the putting surface. This is a cross-country special.
We often say, Rich, you should always try and make it. I got to disagree with that. Lag putting It's just about taking the strain off the next one. There's always other holes to be played.
From that distance, you settle for 2 putts. He's made it. At the 14th now, it's a par 4.
And a dogleg left once again. The bunker on the left side's been pushed out to the fairway to really make you think whether or not you can carry that. It's a lengthy second shot because it's going to play a little bit uphill. And this green is well protected on the left side with the 2 bunkers.
He just blasted that one down the fairway. Out there about 325 yards. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
Go ahead and do that for birdie. Now at the par 5 15th, and Frank, there is plenty to catch your eye. There's also quite a bit to catch your ear. You can hear the roars at the par 3 16th. So how do you focus on the task at hand?
Great question, Rich. You know, you realize you're about to enter the stadium part of the golf course, but this is the last par 5 that you're going to play. We've seen eagles here over the years. We've seen many a player hit it in the water off the tee or water short of the green. Certainly one of the tougher tee shots coming in. No bunkers here to worry about, just that huge lake to the left. Find the fairway. You might just find the green. There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it. Sometimes you get breaks, and he got one right there.
Yeah, I guess the bunker was a little smaller than I thought it was. It looked doomed for that.
That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
This for another birdie on this hole on the week. Now to the 16th hole, and Frank, what makes this so special is the walk underneath the grandstands. It's the Gladiator coming into the Coliseum.
That's a perfect description, Rich, and that's why this hole is unlike any other hole on the PGA Tour. The atmosphere that the players feel on that tee, they cannot prepare for, they can't experience anywhere else. This is a once-in-a-lifetime par 3.
And when you look at it from up high with the blimp view, it sort of appears as though they've dropped Fenway Park or Wrigley Field right into the desert. And this is a sellout crowd. I mean, this is 20,000 fans, and there's nothing like it. There's not a single hole in golf that has more fans on it than the 16th here at TPC Scottsdale.
Well, it was a tricky one, but it's in.
17th hole, Frank, and this one is really set up for maximum excitement.
Well, there's 2 things that you really think of. How do I play this hole, and how is it going to affect the rest of my round? This is the penultimate hole. If you make a mistake here, it'll carry over. It might cost you the tournament. But if you're a hero, it's going to carry forward to 18. This is why 17 is such a big swing hole.
Wayward from the tee, and this one is headed for the rough, Frank. Good thing he stayed in the first cut, because just a couple of feet over, that rough is really deep.
And it was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back? Rich, you know, after you've already made one mistake in the rough, there's a chance he's going to make another.
Just trying to get it back out into the fairway and not make a big number.
If you hit enough shots, every now and again, one's going to go in.
Crazy, crazy game. To the 18th hole now, and Frank, the original designers stepped in, and they made this hole quite a bit more challenging.
Yeah, they certainly have stiffened it up. The longest hitters in the game Dustin Johnsons, the Bubba Watsons, the Jackie Holmes used to take it completely over the lake down the left side where there was just one paltry bunker. Now there's a series of bunkers, almost like the church pews at Oakmont, that are littered down the left side, stopping that attack. You're going to have to respect this hole that much more off the tee. Find the fairway. It's still a short iron in, but this finishing hole is now a proper finishing hole.
Good swing, good shot yet again. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie. And what a day it's been. What a great tournament finish. This one is in the books, and look who finished on top of the leaderboard.
Rich, this has to go down as a classic. Our champion was simply on fire. And I'm looking forward now to see how next week pans out.